It's time to love the lanes again. From some of southeastern Wisconsin's finest bowling centers, this is the Brew City Bowling Show.
Week 5 of this season of the Brew City Bowling Show, coming to you from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. I'm $2 Phil Brilo, taking you through the morning here. And boy, we have a team that is on the hot streak right now. Austin Equix and Dan Starring have won 3 weeks in a row on the American Place Casino Royal Roller match. You're going to see them in the last match today. 3 teams will be battling it out in that famous bowling game format, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th frames. And the high team out of that semifinal round gets in that American Place Casino Royal Roller match and has their chance to take down $250 in free play and $150 in dining to split as a team. Or will Austin and Dan keep piling on? That's the big question. Practice finishing up here at Classic Lanes Greenfield, and we'll be back with our first semifinal game after this short break.
When people drop into the American Place Casino, you won't believe the things they say.
It looks amazing in here.
Pretty cool, right?
I'm gonna go play some blackjack.
Oh, I'm hitting the slots.
With the most exciting table games and newest slots, you can play any way you want. Oh, and the food.
So good.
So what are you waiting for? Come in now and have an experience that'll make you say, couldn't have said it better myself. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Showcase your skills and experience the thrill of competing on the national stage at the 2025 PBA LBC National Championships. This event has awarded over $675,000 in prize money over the last 2 years, and Valero Mount Prospect is just a 90-minute drive from Milwaukee. View all the tournament information at pba.com/LBC tournament.
All bowling fans, you've got 2 more chances to try out for the Brew City Bowling Show here in Season 2. March 29th at South Shore Bowl in Cudahy. April 5th at Blue Mountain Bowl in Brookfield. Find your doubles partner, come on out, and maybe you'll have your chance to take down that great American Place Casino Royal Roller match or all kinds of other cash and prizes you can win on the show. Go to the Brew City Bowling Show page on Facebook and get all the details. Semifinal number 1 underway here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Gina Dereshevsky, Dan Glubka hitting the lanes first today. See who's going to take on Dan Starring and Austin Equix in our American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Gina starting things off here on lane 3. And that one comes a little high and a big split with the 3, 6, 7, and 10 for Gina. Gina, the proprietor here at Classic Lanes Greenfield for over a quarter century now. And 16 lanes here, historic lanes at Classic Lanes Greenfield. It's the only bowling center in the world that has had 2 perfect 900 series bowled in it. One of those by Tony Roventini and another by Mark Wookeman. Both great Hall of Fame players from the Milwaukee area as Gina starts with the open. Let's see what Dan can do here to pick her up. Dan's favorite bowling teammate, Paul Krantz. Says the guy is a legend, and I have to agree with Dan on that. And we saw Dan and Gina in Season 1. There's a great toss there by Dan to start as he tries to fire up his teammate. Always fun having the different formats here in the Brew City Bowling Show. Of course, we had the old bowling game format in Season 1. Here in Season 2 in 2025, this fun doubles format with our Royal Roller match being a King of the Hill every week. As teams win, they come back on the next show. And Austin and Dan, who you're going to see in that match. Wow, terrible break for Gina on 7-10. Austin and Dan on their 3rd win in a row, looking for win number 4. They've already won $1,200 in free play from American Place Casino and $450 in dining to split as a team. Oh, a little benefit for Gina here. If she does happen to make it, it is $100 in cash from the Brew City Bowling Show, but something tells me here she's just going to use that Dave Matthews custom spare ball, Gina's favorite band, and no lucky bounce for Gina, and back-to-back opens. You can be a Hall of Famer like Gina. You can be a 240 average bowler, and you can still run into problems on the lanes, even if you know them very, very well. See if Gina can turn things around. Let's see if Dan can hold her in here. As a strike here gets him an H5G brand gift certificate. Unfortunately for Dan, slides through the nose, 3, 6, and 10. So one thing to keep in mind here, this is the PBA LBC National Championships pattern. So it's not exactly a lead shot house pattern that these bowlers are rolling on today. They don't have to make PBA Tour quality shots, but they do have to make good shots in order to get to the pocket and then hopefully strike. Good cover there by Dan. Keep the score sheet clean after 2. Gina's favorite bowling teammate, you see her daughter Jenna in the black and white sweatshirt sitting behind her. Loves bowling with Jenna whenever she gets the chance. And Gina's favorite breakfast food on a Saturday morning, Bloody Mary. It's always a good start to a Saturday morning. I must agree with Gina on that one. And you go to some of the restaurants around town, like our friends at Natty Oaks as well out in West Allis, they can give you some sides with your Bloody Mary. It's almost like you're eating a whole breakfast buffet when you order the Bloody, with the beef sticks and the cheese and the peppers and whatever else they may throw in that Bloody Mary. Gina still having some problems. At least she broke up the split. Should be able to get the spare here, avoid the all-open game, and avoid some bowling lessons from Matt Gasson out at Top Notch Bowling. Foxview Lanes in Waukesha. Good cover there by the Hall of Famer. And she's going to have a maximum now of 67. Dan, though, could have a maximum of 110. If Dan can get all the strikes remaining on the score sheet as he steps up in his 9th frame. Dan's favorite breakfast food on the Saturday morning, gyros and eggs. Oh, not really good gyros to start thing off. Unfortunately, that one must have hit a little gyro grease on that, a little wide on the pocket. And the 1-2-10 washout out there for Dan. However, we do have a new sponsor on board with Holtz Chevrolet in Hales Corners. Get yourself a wash bucket for converting the wash out. And there you go for Dan, some great car care supplies in that bucket from Holtz Chevrolet. Glad to have them on board. Purchased my last 2 vehicles from Holtz, and they do a great job, not just selling you the vehicle, but their service department out there is spectacular as well. I get all my vehicles serviced there. Let's see what we can do here for the mystery frame for Gina. A neutral gift pack. If she can strike here, that one comes up light. So neutral stays neutral. As Gina's going to need to convert here and get a strike for 54. I want to thank our friends at Beechwood Distributing for all the brands they are supplying for mystery frame prizes here in Season 2. And let's see if Gina can cover his spare like her idol, Amleto Monticelli. Amleto, great spare shooter on the PBA and PBA 50 tours over the years, and a quality cover there by Gina. Still have that chance at 54. Gina, Amleto's my idol, and he's still hot at 61 years old. Yeah, Amleto is a good-looking human being. There's no doubt about that. And it's always fun talking to Amleto. He's a phenomenal coach as well. Does a lot of coaching in the off-season when he's not bowling on the PBA 50 Tour. And, hey, we get them all the fall for Gina on the fill ball. A little fun smile and celebration. You get to 54, but let's see what her partner can do here. Dan can get to 87. Set that pace for the Circa High Game Award. Once again, every Brew City Bowling Show, the high game in our semifinals by an individual gets that bowler a 2-night midweek stay at Circa Las Vegas and a complimentary daybed rental at Stadium Swim. Packs 10 back. Great start to the 10th frame there for Dan Glubka. Dan says if he can bowl with any living person one game with them, he would want it to be Hulk Hogan. He didn't put Y on there. I mean, I'm sure you could have some interesting conversations, especially if you're a wrestling fan. You talk to one of the goats of the professional wrestling industry with Hulk Hogan. Oh, the light scrambler for Dan. Gives him that chance at 87. Also puts a bottle of Creating the Difference bowling ball cleaner into Dan's bowling bag. Great products from Creating the Difference, not just bowling ball cleaners and polishes, but other accessories as well. And can we end the game here, spice up Dan's turkey with a Penzies gift card on 3 in a row. That one, yeah, a little skate in the oil, 10 pin. But still 86 for Dan, 54 for Gina, and a good doubles total to start things off here on this edition of the Brew City Bowling Show from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Sign up for the Summer Storm Doubles League at Castle Lanes in Racine. Get your chance to win Storm bowling balls, Castle Lanes gift certificates, and everyone in the league gets a Castle t-shirt and a bowling jersey from H5G. Call Castle Lanes today to sign up. South Shore Bowl has great bowling deals for you, with all-you-can-bowl glow bowling on Friday and Saturday nights, and our Sunday Fun Day special. See all the info at southshorebowl.com.
Oh, a solid finish by Dan for that team. They might have a chance to get to that American Place Casino Royal Roller match, but they're going to have to wait for a couple more opponents to see if that happens. Let's bring in Gina from our opening match. And Gina, a little different than when we had you on the show in the fall. You had an 80 game, you got to go to Circuit Las Vegas and everything, and this time just wasn't a solid start for you. What happened out there?
No clue.
No clue. It happens. It happens to the best of us. And it's nice to see you're still smiling and had some fun.
Your mystery frame was the first ball in the 10th frame. You would have won a neutral prize pack thanks to our friends at Beechwood Distributing.
You did finish with a strike, though, so that's got to feel pretty good.
That does. It was fun. It's a great time. Hopefully we can move on, and if not, it's still a great time.
Yeah, and I'll see you at the bar for one after we're done today.
Absolutely.
All right, appreciate you hosting once again. Thanks, Gina. Let's bring in Danny. Oh, Mr. Glubka. By the way, we've had some quality jerseys on the show this year, and this is now turned into one of my favorites very quickly. Who came up with this design?
Lester Komorowski, allegedly.
Well, hey, a great finish. That double gets you a bottle of Creating the Difference bowling ball cleaner, Life After Death, which is sometimes after we're done bowling here at Classic Lanes Greenfield on a Friday night, but that's a whole different story. Your mystery frame was the 8th frame, so unfortunately you missed out on a gift to you for H5G brands, and I'll tell you what, you guys had a nice run through qualifying last week, and you looked pretty good on the lanes today.
Yeah, I rode the G train through qualifying. She tried to ride the D train, but there was no coal in the train.
Apparently somebody got derailed today.
That's a fact, Jack.
Well, you don't know, because 140, it might hold on for that total. We'll have to get through 2 more teams, so good luck to you.
Yeah, let's hope for it. Thanks, Phil. Appreciate
Thanks,
it.
Dan, and let's see who's going to be hitting the lanes next to try to knock off that team for the Royal Roller match.
And Dion Coles, Samuel Caraballo taking to the lanes here for the second semifinal today for Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Deion's going to be starting things off here on lane 3. Deion does his league bowling here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Loves bowling with his teammate Sam. And how about that? Let's get ourselves a mystery frame prize right away. $50 in dining at any of the restaurants at American Place Casino in Waukegan for Deion with that crossover strike. And both these young men know what they want to do on the lanes. Get up and start throwing strikes, wasting no time as Sam. Sam says Deion's his favorite teammate, and unfortunately there for Sam, misses out on the American Place Casino jackpot shot. That would have been $100 in free play if he would have struck with that red, white, and blue head pin. Unfortunately, now he's looking at receiving $12 if he can convert this 5-7 split. Sam loves to get himself some waffles on a Saturday morning. And unfortunately, no conversion on the 5-7. And an early open frame for Sam. See what Deion can do here. Try to get a double here, get some Creating the Difference bowling ball polish. Once again, thanks to Ron Hickland and all of his great staff at Creating the Difference for what they do in the sport of bowling. And there we go, big double early, and Deion threatening to take over the high game on the show with that early double. Dan loves himself some omelets on Saturday morning for breakfast when he's not on the lanes. And let's see what Sam can do here to try to right the ship after that first frame open. That needs to hold, comes high. Good break though. No split, leaves just the 6 and 10. Sam says if he could bowl one game with anyone, he'd love to do it with Pete Weber because he's the greatest of all time, Sam says. He's one of the greats, no doubt about it. Like Pete used to say, you can love me, you can hate me, but you always watched me. And a lot of us would still watch Pete to this day. So great cover there by Sam to avoid the all-open game. And let's see what Dion can do here to get to 3 in a row. Will we see a turkey on the board? Will we spice it up with some Penzies? Dion lets that one go, and that's going to come a little high, and he pays maximum penalty on that shot. And that's going to be a tough one to get. Bounce out of the pit. Best shot at this. Hit in that 4-7 zone, try to get the 2, and maybe you'll get a lucky bounce out of the pit. So he'll take out that 6-pin. So if there's a movie on and he's got some time to watch it, Dion says any Harry Potter movie will do the job. Kill some time. I like Sam's one as well. I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, but I always enjoyed Good Burger. That's a funny movie to this day. Let's see if we can get Sam cut in style at the Carlo Salon and Barbershop. We do pick these prizes out well in advance, and wow. Yeah, I feel you there, Sam. Throw a great ball, wrap a 10-pin. Sam is a hairstylist. So maybe some consulting work between Jason DeCarlo, his staff, and Sam could have been done there with that haircut and style. But thanks again to Jason and his staff at DeCarlo Salon on North Water Street in Milwaukee for all they've done to support the Brew City Bowling Show here in our first year. And a good cover there by Sam. So still a chance for these players to overtake doubles total set by Gina and Dan of 140. It's going to take somebody getting a double here to do it, whether it's Dan or Sam here in the 10th frame. And that needs some help and just a little wide. 2-5 for Dion. So he'll try to convert here. He can get to 71. Yeah, and that's going to make Sam double in the 10th in order to get past that 140 total, because Sam, if he were to go strike spare, he'd have a 68. Just wouldn't quite make it. Oh no, there's lots of problems now. I don't believe, yeah, the most we can see here is 138 for a doubles total. So Gina and Dan will hang on for another game. Well, let's see if we can get Sam $100 in free play at American Place Casino. He has another chance at it here with the red, white, and blue pin in the head pin spot. We're going to send him to Waukegan? Oh, how about it? Yes, indeed. $100 in free play on any slot or video poker down at American Place. It's worth a little bit of a jaunt to get down there. Immaculately clean casino. No smoking as well. If you're not a fan of smoking while you're gambling or having somebody smoke next to you, it's a great place. But they have a really nice smoking patio for the people to go out. If you do happen to enjoy a cigarette or a vape or two. And is that going to be a big break there? No, it's not. And yeah, the hands are going up in the crowd once again. Sam's going, come on, I'm almost done with the game. Don't be picking on me. But unfortunately, Dion and Sam aren't going to advance. But they've had a nice showing out here. They're going to take home some prizes from American Place Casino. Dion with that $50 in dining for his mystery frame. And Sam with the $100 in free play for that jackpot shot. There we go, 68 for Sam, 60 for Dion. Let's bring these bowlers back to talk to them about the prizes they won, and we'll have our third semifinal here from Classic Lanes in Greenfield here on the Brew City Bowling Show.
Hey everyone, come check out Swagger Sports Bar and Grill inside Root River Center. On Wednesdays, we have 79-cent wings, bone-in and boneless. Also on Thursdays, we have $2 taco specials, beef or chicken.
Well, our second game, Bowler's not going to have enough to make it to the American Place Casino Royal Roller match, but we might have some prizes to give to him. Let's bring in Dion. Dion, come on in. So, Dion, you had yourself a double there. You get yourself a bottle of Creating the Difference bowling ball cleaner, so you got some life after death there as well. And sometimes it's not about how many times you strike on the show. It's about when you strike. 7th frame is your mystery frame. You struck there. You're going to get $50 in dining credit at American Place Casino, so I hope you had a good time today.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Appreciate it.
All right. Thanks again. Now let's bring in Samuel. Samuel, a big shot in the 10th frame. You had that red, white, and blue striped pin. Come a little closer. Red, white, and blue striped pin. You're going to get yourself $100 in free play at American Place Casino. You'll get that card in the mail from them. And unfortunately, your mystery frame was the 9th frame for your strike there. You would have won a haircut and style at the Carlos Salon on Water Street. Oh, you're a barber, so that's perfect. Yeah. That's kind of funny right there. Sometimes these prizes get a little ironic when we give them away. But unfortunately, not enough for your team to advance to the Royal War match. But have a good time at American Place at $100.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks. And we'll be back with our, who's our bowlers for game number 3 here? We're going to find out in just a second.
Always good to have a married couple hit the lanes here on the Brew City Bowling Show. And that's what we're getting right now here in semifinal number 3 with Mike and Kim Schroeder. Stepping up, Mike will take care of business first on lane 3. Both do some of their bowling here at Classic Lanes Greenfield. Also do some bowling at South Shore Bowl, where you're going to see Brew City Bowling Show return to a little later in the season. Mike averages .224 with that powerful shot. You see why as he opens up his game with a strike. Let's see if Kim can match here. Kim loves bowling with her husband Mike because of his support and help with improving her game. And Kim has really improved her game recently. She had never had more than 6 strikes in a row on her 178 average up until earlier this year. Yikes, as the smash 7 gets in the way of an opening strike here for Kim. But at South Shore Bowl, Kim not only started with 6 in a row, but put another 6 in a row on top of it. And she had her first career perfect game a little earlier this year. So congratulations to Kim for making it happen. Let's see what you can do here for the spare. That's a little left to start. It falls off the lane, and it might just be a little bit of nerves under the lights. We saw Mike in season 1 bowl with the team here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Mike took home some prizes that day. Let's see if Mike can take home a little Creating the Difference bowling ball cleaner here. If he can put up a double here in the 8th frame. Mike loves himself some Eggs Benedict on a Saturday morning. And yeah, he gave that one a little extra on the bottom to make sure it hooked into the pocket a little high and leaves the 10 pin. So he'll switch to the polyester bowling ball like so many players do. Take the oil pattern out of play. Just go from point A to point B. And knock it over, which he does successfully. One place Kim would love to travel back to is Curacao. Gorgeous beaches and great weather. And yeah, this would be the time of year to go back to Curacao. Not quite full spring weather here in southeastern Wisconsin, but you can get yourself some sun, some fun. Take that trip over the Caribbean Sea. And that one's gonna cross over, and let's see how many hands go up there. Oh, even the husband getting in on it. Even Mike, her husband, giving her a little grief. We have fun with the 5 pins on this show. We call it the Brian Meehan rule right now, after Brian had some struggles before our tapings on our last show here from Classic Lanes Greenfield. Brian and his partner Steve made it to the Royal Roller match, but they fell to Dan and Austin, and that's what we're going to see in the Royal Roller match, taking on our winners from the semifinals right now. That 140 total. Gina and Dan sitting on top, but Mike and Kim threatening it here, as we have a chance here for a gift card from Falcon Bowl in River West if Mike can strike. And, well, it would have been a $50 gift card from Falcon Bowl, but now Mike gets himself a chance for $50 in free play at American Place Casino for the spare for dough. He leaves just that red, white, and blue stripe pin for the single pin spare attempt. Let's see if we can get a spare for dough on the board and $50 in free play. Mike, cross lane. Oh, like he's done it for decades. Great cover for Mike. So he still has a maximum score of 89. He can knock off Dan's 86 from the first match for the Circa High Game Award. Kim still can get to 89 as well if she can strike out. She needs to start here, though, in the 9th frame. That's a little better on target line. Scrambles the rack. And so we have a good chance here for new doubles leaders in our semifinals to advance to the Royal Roller match and a chance for that Circa High Game Award.
All right, pile it on.
Watch that ball there for Kim. Just hit light. Headpin does a lot of damage on the 4, 5, and 7. And here we go. Hey, back-to-back chances for free play here for Mike. He's got his spare for dough. Can he round it out with a $100 jackpot shot? Here to open the 10th frame. 6 slaps to the 10. And that's a nice little payday for Mike. $150 total in free play now from American Place Casino in Waukegan. Want to thank all the staff at American Place, not just for coming on board for the Brew City Bowling Show, but I know I've had quite a few of my friends visit down there, quite a few winners from the Brew City Bowling Show that have taken their free play certificates, and they all say how much they enjoy their time giving it a gamble at American Place. Wow. I thought we were going to have a good chance for a Circa High Game lead change, and it's not going to happen with that solid 9 for Mike. But here's the situation. Mike spares here. He has 79. That means Kim has to get to 61. So Kim basically just needs a spare to keep the fill shot on the lane in the 10th frame. And Mike and Kim would advance to the American Place Casino Royal Roller match. And once again, that $250 in free play and $150 in dining they would split as a team every time someone wins that American Place Casino Royal Roller match. She also has a chance for her mystery frame here, a Henry Flack Steakhouse gift card. Yikes! That's a lot of trouble, and that's the 1, 3, 8, and 10. And Kim, guarantee you she doesn't shoot that one often. I wonder if she kind of knew the mark was needed to advance to the Royal Roller match. And this one, there's more ways to miss it than make it. If you hit the 1, 3 in the pocket, you might not get to the 8 pin, or you might send the 3 around the 10 because you don't have the 6 pin to help out. It's got a pretty good chance. Oh my, the 3 goes around the 10. So Gina and Dan will advance to the Royal Roller match. We'll come back here and give Mike and Kim their prizes as we roll on here on the Brew City Bowling Show from Classic Lanes in Greenfield. All Foxview Lanes and Sussex Bowl League bowlers in the 25-26 league season will have their chance to strike it rich and their chance at the $15,000 progressive jackpot every time they bowl league.
Well, in bowling, sometimes it comes down to what happens in the result of a single shot, and that's what's happened here for our advancer to the Royal Roller match. Gina and Dan, out of our first match, held on with that 140 total. You're going to see them back again shortly. Let's bring in our bowlers from the third match. Let's bring in Mike first. You're first, Mike. You kept it clean out there. You got yourself a 79 game. Not too bad. Moving a little bit closer for me here, buddy. No problem. But you piled on the American Place prizes. You got your spare for dough, $50 in the 9th frame, 10th frame. You struck with the colored head pin. That's another $100 in free play. You do a lot of gambling on $150.
I can make it last an hour or so, but it'll be fun doing it.
Gonna let the wife participate in any of that gambling, or is she on her own?
We'll have to see, but she will.
All right. Well, your mystery frame is the 8th frame. Unfortunately, you didn't get it. Would have been a gift card to Falcon Bowl up on the east side of Milwaukee. And you just missed out on the team total. Unfortunately, not advanced to the Royal Roller match, but you still get to have some American Place Casino fun.
Oh, for sure. It'll be awesome.
Thanks for bowling again.
Ron, thanks for running everything.
Appreciate it. Let's bring in Kim. Kim, boy, that first shot in the 10th frame just kind of got you a little bit, and the spare, I thought you had that spare.
I was close. I was closer than I thought, but what can you do?
And I'm gonna be the bearer of bad news because the 10th frame was your mystery frame too. So it would have been a gift card to Henry Flack's Steakhouse in West Allis. So have you been to Henry Flack's?
We have actually for our anniversary dinner last year, and it was awesome. So, yep.
Well, your husband got all at American Place Casino fun. Pile on him a little bit and see how you guys do down there.
Yep. Thank you so much.
Right, thanks for bowling, Kim. Appreciate it. And Danny, come on in. Danny, we got a little something special for you. Because not only are you and Gina advancing to the Royal Roller match, your total hold on, you also were the high game on the show out of our semifinalists. That gets you a 2-night stay at Circa Las Vegas. We don't give you the transportation. You got to find your own way there. But you also get the daybed rental at Stadium Swim. Get out, get some sun, get some drinks, some food. It's going to be a good time out at Circa, I'm sure.
Well, the bowling show has been awfully lucrative with the autograph signings, appearance fees, really everything from season 1. So I'm looking forward to season 2.
All right, well, hey, you got to go ready for that American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Go get some practice in. We'll see you in a moment.
Let's see what happens.
All right, little short break here, and we'll be back with that American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Can Austin and Dan hold on for a 4th week in a row? Or are we going to crown champions for the first time in a while? You got to stay tuned to find out.
When people drop into the American Place Casino, you won't believe the things they say.
It looks amazing in here.
Pretty cool, right?
I'm going to go play some blackjack.
Oh, I'm hitting the slots. With the most exciting table games and newest slots, you can play any way you want. Oh, and the food.
So good.
So what are you waiting for? Come in now and have an experience that'll make you say, couldn't have said it better myself. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Here's the match everyone has been waiting for all morning long. Our American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Defending champions Austin Equitz and Dan Starring taking on Gina Dereshevsky and Danny Glubka. $250 in free play and $150 in dining at American Place Casino for the winning team up for grabs once again. Gina started things off here on lane 3 at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. And comes up in the pocket, and boy, Gina had some struggles during her semifinal round. Her partner Dan got her through, and now they have their chance trying to knock off our 3-time defending winners. Austin and Dan, as you see that light hit, makes the pins up for Gina. Austin's only been bowling for a few years, averages about 180. Loves bowling with his teammate Dan. This is bowling at Lucky Lanes for the majority of his bowling. And that one comes up a little high for Austin. They're coming off a tough battle last week. They did not bowl well. Somehow managed to only throw 158 and get away with a win as Steve Piskupski and Brian Meehan struggled a bit against Austin and Dan. And I think they both know that it's going to take more than that 158 to get past their opponents with Gina Dereshevsky and Dan Glubka. Austin making sure he has himself lined up properly here for that 4-7 spare attempt. Takes the scenic route, gets it covered, and that should help relax the swing a little bit for Austin. Let's see what Dan can do here. Dan failed to strike last time up when we saw him on the show in the Royal Roller match. And our players have switched lanes, so now we're going to see Dan on lane 3, Austin on lane 4. So let's see what Dan can do here to try to get some momentum going for his team. Dan averages 210, bowls out of Lucky Lanes. Loves every chance he gets to bowl with his dad, taught him everything he knows about the sport of bowling. And that first ball for Dan comes up a little light. That's where we saw a lot of issues for Dan in the last Royal Roller match here at Classic Lanes Greenfield. Lucky to leave just the 2-pin on the spare conversion. Covers it up nicely, and back-to-back spares for the team of Austin and Dan to start. Dan Glubka coming on now. Glubka does the majority of his bowling at New Berlin Ale House, also does some bowling here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield. Big fan of the Wizard of Oz. Let's see if he can find a little bit of a pot of gold here for Natty Oaks for his mystery frame. Doesn't quite get the 10 out. And he'll regroup, come back, and try to convert that spare. Watch the replay here. Ball tries to chug up hard and just gets a little behind the head pin. That angle, 6-pin just goes in the flat gutter. And interesting, Dan stays with his strike ball, the reactive resin ball on the spare attempt. Yikes! And there's the pull. And the last thing you want to do is give another team momentum, especially when they've won 3 in a row. So Dan goes back, talks to Gina, and Gina's going to try to right the ship here. As that one, unfortunately for Dan, crosses the finish line backwards in a flaming wreck on the spare attempt. His checkered flag jersey. Gina, once again, great Hall of Famer, longtime proprietor here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield, and one of my favorite people in the world. She's done so much for the sport of bowling over the years as a bowler and as a proprietor, and there's a great toss for Gina. Lots of senior leagues here at Classic Lanes in Greenfield, where some other bowling centers have kind of gone away from hosting senior leagues during the day. Gina's embraced it, and there are a lot of good senior bowlers that bowl in the center as well. I've seen several senior league 300s posted on the Classic Lanes Greenfield social media page over the season. Let's see what Austin can do here. Comes up light. Well, the good news for Austin and Dan is when they're making misses right now, it's makeable spares. That was the problem they had in our last match. They'd have a miss and they'd have a big wide open split. They caught enough of a break late in the match. Austin found something, put a couple strikes on the board while Dan kept it clean to skate through with that 158 game. But they know it's probably going to take a 200 game to win this American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Austin always loves taking a trip down to the Smoky Mountains. Loves hiking through the mountains down there when the weather's good. And it's good to see that Tennessee, North Carolina starting to bounce back from that hurricane they had in 2024. Tourism, a big part of that area. And it's interesting to hear for his teammate, Dan, when we asked him where he wants to travel back to and why. He wants to take a time travel trip. He wants to go back to the 1985 Chicago Bears Super Bowl victory. It was a good time if you're a Bears fan. I think that was the last good time a Bears fan has had 40 years ago. So I'll have to get that information why Dan wants to go back to visit that particular event. Needs to visit a spare here, though, with the 2, 4, and 10. $16 available in cash on the Brew City Bowling Show. On a conversion. Hey, that's got a chance. Oh, no. Wow. Slid the 2-pin over, overcut it a little bit, and it fell in the flat gutter and didn't bounce out to get the 10. And that's got to be a tough open frame to take right now for Dan. Boy, you do everything you're supposed to do, and now you go from being ahead in the match to back being even in the match. Let's see what Dan Glubka can do here. Loves to go to Canada to go fishing for walleyes. Well, he's fishing for strikes right now, and he has one to put a double on the board for his team. Here you see the high fives for everybody back with Gina and Dan. Watch that replay, watch that rack just shred apart. And that shot for Dan. And let's see if Gina can put another strike on the board here. We talked about her semifinal struggles. She's made the right move on the lane. She's 2 for 2 so far this game. Looking to put up a strike here in the beverage frame. Frame number 5. A turkey for the team. Yes, indeed. 6 slaps the 10. And the lead opens up. Boy, they wasted no time after that bad break for Dan Starring. Dan Glubka and Gina put the double on the board, really put the pressure on Austin stepping up here in the beverage frame. Let's see if Austin can answer. Austin could teach a class in computer programming. He's an engineer for a living. And that one just kind of steers a bit high for Austin leaves just the 6-pin. We've seen Austin quite good on his spares here on TV over the last 3 episodes of the Brew City Bowling Show. Only a couple of open frames. It's never easy on a little tougher lane pattern like we have with this PBA LBC National Championships pattern and the TV lights to keep the nerves down and make these spares. But Austin, he's been a bowler that's really improved even over just the last 4 shows. As you see there, a little doubt for a second, but the ball picked up nicely, held on, and we've got ourselves about a 24-pin difference here, getting into our last frame before our commercial break for this game. Here we go, mystery frame for Dan. Pizza and pitcher package from Riviera Lanes in West Dallas. Historic Riviera Lanes. Don Doherty and his great staff there will make sure you have a good time, your outing would have a good time, and unfortunately, Dan Starring not having a good time right now as he's looking at his 2nd consecutive open, and he's looking at having to make up a big gap for his team after the commercial break on this near impossible split conversion. So Dan's going to get himself 2 pins here, maybe a lucky bounce. The lucky bounce does not happen, and Gina and Dan Glovka with a commanding lead getting into this break. We'll be back from Classic Lanes Greenfield for the rest of our American Place Casino Royal Roller match. Welcome back to Classic Lanes Greenfield on the Brew City Bowling Show. We had our bowlers continue rolling through the commercial break to stay on time. Dan Glovka steps up, gets himself the 4th strike in a row for his team in the 6th frame. That's some Milwaukee Wave tickets for he and his partner Gina. Gina looking to pile on with the prizes here in her 7th frame, her mystery frame. A chance to win some Greater Milwaukee Golf Show tickets at Franklin Field and Lux Golf Bays in March, and she does that as well. Austin Equit's trying to keep his team somewhat close, but that team in mandatory strike mode right now with the big run that Gina and Dan Glovka are on. And unfortunately for Austin, goes 4-pin high, picks up the spare in the 7th, and then in the 8th, you've got Dan Starring looking to finish strong. Cranks one off the hand, gets all 10 back, and unfortunately, maybe too little too late, as the maximum score for Austin and Dan Starring is 200. Meanwhile, Gina and Dan Glovka are pacing in the 220s and have a chance at getting to the Rich Mueller Pro Shop high game of the season here in our Royal Roller matches. Glovka, here we go in the 8th frame, comes up a bit high.
Don't you care?
But all they have to do now is stay clean, and they'll take home this American Place Casino Royal Roller match. They'll advance to our show next week as well. We'll be over at Country Lanes in Franklin. Kevin and Leanne Meyer hosting us once again for the Brew City Bowling Show. And who knows, maybe we'll see one of them on TV again like we saw in Season 1. We saw both Kevin and Leanne, and they both took home the Circa High Game Awards during their respective shows. Let's see what Gina can do here. She's 4 for 4 to this point, striking in this Royal Roller match and looking to lock up the Rich Mueller Pro Shop's High Game Award. That's currently at 221 for Gina Hurst and Chris Mueller in our first show of the season at River Lanes. And how about that? All Glovka's going to have to do now in the 10th frame is show up and mark, and we will have new leaders for that Rich Mueller Pro Shop High Baker Game Award. Gina found something getting into this Royal Roller match 5-4-5 with her striking shoes on. And now let's just get some prizes for these bowlers here, hopefully. Bowlers Headquarters, a ball rejuvenation and resurfacing for Austin if he can strike here in the 9th frame, and he gave that one a little too much. Comes up high, leaves the baby split. He can get $10 in cash here from the Brew City Bowling Show if he converts this split. He'll just get over to the left side of the approach. Looks like he's going to stay with his strike ball, so he's going to hook into the 3-pin, try to have that deflect into the 10. If Austin had a walk-in song like a professional fighter, it would be Rock You Like a Hurricane by the Scorpions. I think that song might be older than Austin. Yikes. I thought he was going to get that cash on that spare attempt. Does not happen. But still, the team of Austin, Dan Starring, I mean, what a great run. $750 in free play at American Place Casino, $450 in dining already. Let's get another $100 in free play in Dan's back pocket here. He's got that red, white, and blue head pin on the jackpot shot. Oh no, a little quick. And that ends up being the super washout. But Dan still with a chance to walk out here with something in the 10th frame as our newest sponsor to the Brew City Bowling Show, Holtz Chevrolet. You can win a wash and car care package from Holtz with a washout conversion. Unfortunately for Dan, wraps the head pin around the 610. Once again, we saw him wrap the 2 around the 10 earlier. And not the greatest of efforts for Austin and Dan, but great results up to this week for them with all the money and dining they've won from American Place Casino. And you see here, just needs to mark to be the new high baker game on the season for Gina and Dan Glubka, and you can't mark better than that. Glubka packs 10 back. Amazing shot there by Dan, and that's going to really give them some momentum rolling into Country Lanes next week. Still a couple opportunities for bowlers to make their way onto the Brew City Bowling Show in 2025. Check out Brew City Bowling Show Facebook page. Catch all the latest show information as well. And how about that? Glubka and Gina going to put themselves in the 240s. And I don't know if that's going to be a lock through the season for that Rich Miller Pro Shops High Baker game, but it is definitely going to be a tough one to beat. So we're going to let Dan throw his last shot here. We'll be back from Classic Lanes in Greenfield to wrap up this edition of the Brew City Bowling Show. All bowling fans, you've got 2 more chances to try out for the Brew City Bowling Show here in Season 2. March 29th at South Shore Bowl in Cudahy. April 5th at Blue Mountain Bowl in Brookfield. Find your doubles partner, come on out, and maybe you'll have your chance to take down that great American Place Casino Royal Roller match or all kinds of other cash and prizes you can win on the show. Go to the Brew City Bowling Show page on Facebook and get all the details. Wow, Gina and Danny just piled on the strikes that game. Didn't give Austin and Dan a chance to get into the game even when they started trying to fight back. Let's bring our 3-time roller match winners in here with Austin and Dan. And tell you, $750 in free play, $450 in dining down at American Place. You guys roll up in 3 weeks. What's one thing you're going to take away from this, each of you, about the experience you had under the TV lights?
Honestly, it was great just being here. You guys did a great format with, the baker style at the end. I learned a lot on this, how to adjust. We worked together very well as a team, so looking forward to doing it again next year.
Same question.
Yeah, honestly, same thing that Austin said, just the transition aspect of the game between the days. And, it was a good time. I enjoyed it very much. You guys did a great production here, and I enjoyed this very much.
Thanks. And unfortunately, mystery frames, you both missed on them. 6th frame would have been yours, Dan. It would have been Riviera Pizza and Pitcher, Riviera Lanes in West Dallas. And Austin, you would have gotten a bowling ball resurfacing and rejuvenation from Bowlers headquarters right here inside of Classic Lanes Greenfield. But you guys had a hell of a run. Great job, and maybe we'll see you back on Season 3.
Yep, sounds good to me.
Thanks a lot.
Looking forward to it. Thank you.
Right. Thanks, guys. Appreciate it. And let's bring in our Royal Roller match winners, Gina and Danny. Gina and Danny. And did you guys have a pep talk or something between the games? I mean, you guys weren't sure after you bowled your 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th frames you're going to make this Royal Roller match. Then you make it, and you just caught fire, Gina. What was the key?
I liked the lane that I was on, and I felt that I could just throw right and Stay down on it.
And Danny, you talked about the G train. The G train, she came through in this match.
This time the G train and the D train were on the same rails, running it.
Well, I'll tell you what, you guys really piled on the prizes. You two will split $250 in free play and split $150 in dining at American Place Casino. Plus, you come back next week at Country Lanes in Franklin to defend date night at Country Lanes. You get to see Kevin and Leanne Meyer over there, so as they'll be hosting our next show. Then also, your four-bagger in the middle of the game wins each of you a 4-pack of Milwaukee Wave tickets for any time during the remainder of the season here in 2025. You have the high game of the season for the Royal Roller match so far with 247. If that holds on to the end of the year, you'll each win a bowling ball from Rich Mueller Pro Shop at Root River Center. So you'll have that going as well if you hold on. And Gina, you won your mystery frame. You get a 4-pack of tickets to the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show, March 14th to 16th. Over at Lux Golf. Have you been to Lux Golf?
Yes, I have.
Okay, and so you get to try some new clubs maybe and all the good stuff they're going to have at the Greater Milwaukee Golf Show as well. Danny, unfortunately, yours was the second frame. You would have won a gift certificate to Natty Oaks if you would have struck in the second, but you guys get...
The only open of the day.
Yeah. But you guys get another chance next week from Country Lanes. We're looking forward to it.
Oh, my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. And, Gina, I want to thank you. You guys were a great crowd here today. I'll tell you what. There you go. They're still here. They're still cheering us on even through the interviews. You guys come over to Country Lanes next week. They get to defend.
We get to defend next week.
That's right. Another Royal Roller match thanks to American Place Casino. And, hey, thanks to Gina for hosting. We'll see everybody back. We'll see everybody back at Country Lanes next week. And parents, take the kids bowling because you know they're going to have fun for life. We'll see you next week on the Brew City Bowling Show from Country Lanes in Franklin.